at the time that I started doing YouTube videos, I had $30,000 in debt. Within a year of posting consistently, we grew that company past 100K a month in profit. I actually been vegan for like 8 years.
How was eating meat for the first time in 8 years?
Pause, but it was good, bro.
The meat in Argentina is some of the best.
Pause, bro.
No,
Chill out, bro.
You know what I'm talking about.
Flag on the play.
It's not the weed that's making me anxious. It's that the weed is not allowing me to align my actions with my vision of what I want to accomplish. And that was what's making me anxious.
That's real, bro.
What's up, fam? Welcome back to another episode of TSL Time Pod. Today we're here with the one and only Jordan Welch. How we doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. We've been planning this podcast for a while, so I'm happy we're finally getting it done.
Yeah, bro. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you've been busy. You've been traveling a lot. How many places have you been to in the last 3 months since December?
In the last 3 months, oh, man. I mean, not so much. Like, we went to Uruguay, Argentina. We went to Courchevel, went to Dubai.
Yo, bro gets to place 5 and he's like, hold on.
I had to. No, we travel a lot. You know, me and my team, and that actually was just in the last month. Those places that I said, but yeah, I like it, man. I like to be on the move. Though I always enjoy coming home to Miami, man. You know what that feels like, right? Like landing in that airport, it's always feel good.
I always say it's like that one feeling you get when you cross through the doors after baggage claim. You know, that heat that hits you.
And the cigarette smell and like it's like I'm home, you know?
Yeah, bro, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, you want to do, should we do a little TSL to get going?
Yeah, let's do it. You got to, man. It's TSL time.
Of course. Well, sometimes we take it easy depending on the day of the week. But, it is, today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
A little midweek.
Hey, man.
Midweek drink. Yeah, what's your, were you doing any drinking on in your most recent trip in Courchevel?
Yeah. I mean, so I went there with my friend Iman, and those guys like to drink a lot.
Really?
They are proper party guys. But it's not even like they go out to the parties. They just like to have dinner with drinks and everything like that. So
yeah.
And this guy is Russian, bro. So I don't know.
He's Russian? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever drank with Russians before, but these guys are just on a different bracket.
Yeah.
So I was drinking with them pretty much every night. We were only there for 4 nights. But
in Courchevel?
In Courchevel, yeah.
Oh,
I didn't do so much drinking on the slopes because I suck at skiing. So I didn't want to impair myself too bad. But at the nighttime, yeah.
Especially when you're high up in the altitude and shit. Like if you drink too much, it hits even harder.
Yeah, 1 beer was getting me right.
Yeah.
I know.
Yo, I just realized, Moose, do you mind grabbing the sparkling water? I forgot I left it over there. Thank you, brother. Yeah, bro, but that's awesome, dude. So you did a bit of drinking, just like dinner vibes in Courchevel. You said you learned to ski.
I did learn how to ski because I like to snowboard, but I felt like I hit a wall with snowboarding and I couldn't get any better at it. So I tried skiing this time, and I think I like it better. You're a snowboarder, yeah?
Yeah, I used to skateboard, like here in like, Lot 11, Sunny Isles and stuff, if you know where that is.
Of course.
And so then one year I was like, all right, I got to try the snowboarding, see what happens.
Yeah, all my friends that are raw at snowboarding always came up doing skating and surfing and all these things. I did not. I was never into none of that as a kid, so it's harder for me.
I was just going a bit into your earlier life to just like, I guess, segue into, a bit of your background and stuff. It's so funny to me that you started off, man, editing Call of Duty trick shot videos back in the day.
Yeah, bro. That's how I got started. I mean, like, I came from literally nothing. So when I got a laptop, I just became obsessed with watching YouTube videos. And the people that I used to watch the most were like FaZe Clan and all these other gamers and trick shotters. So I just saw them all making money, and I wanted to be like them. That's how I really made my first money, on the internet.
Yeah.
Was with them.
That's insane.
Yeah. Let's get a little cheers going.
Let's get a little cheers.
Yes, sir.
Cheers, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man. That's pretty good, my friend.
Can you taste the smokiness from it?
Yeah, definitely. It's different, that type of tequila.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit different. It's nice.
I like it.
But, bro, that's so nuts, man. I find it so funny. I feel like so many entrepreneurs nowadays, they have, like, the gaming of the Call of Duty days, and, like, flipping sneakers is almost like some like it's like an accolade that everybody has.
Yeah, I mean, that's just that era that we grew up in.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's like drop shipping or TikTok or YouTube. But 10 years ago, it was the sneaker resellers or the gamers. Like that was the thing to make money back then. It's always changing. It's always evolving.
Yeah.
But all my friends that are millionaires today, a lot of them started by playing Call of Duty and trying to make money with that. So many of them.
Yeah. Well,
how about you?
I started playing, dude, I remember when I was like 14, maybe even 13, I wasn't even allowed to buy Call of Duty.
Uh-huh.
And I would ask my dad to be like, yo, I really want to play this game. Can you go to GameStop and help me get the ticket so I can cop the game? Because they would do midnight release.
Yeah, I used to go to the midnight releases.
Dude, I feel like that was a time that, my gosh, bro, I don't know if people will ever live it again because everything is just downloaded digitally now. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's all digital now. But that midnight release was a vibe every time. Like they would go and have tournaments and stuff like that. Good days, man. Shout out my mom. She would take me to those. And
really?
She would take me, and then she would let me skip school the next day to grind. So like the first day the game would come out, I would go get prestige and flex on all my friends. It was the good old days.
Bro, that's crazy, man. I would do the same exact shit. I swear. I would literally tell my dad, I was like, yo, I'm not riding to school tomorrow. Yeah. I would wake up, like I would play. I'm not riding to school tomorrow. I would get home at like 12:15 because I would go straight after school at 3 p.m. to GameStop, get the ticket, pull back up at midnight since I was first in line, grab the game, go home, play, fall asleep like at 5, wake up, just grind.
Hey, you know one thing that's true, that grinding skill set that you learn from playing video games, if you use it in your real life, you can achieve anything. Like I feel like playing video games taught me work ethic. It really taught me if you lock in on something for hours at a time, you can get somewhere with it. I don't know if you feel that way too, but like if you can grind in a video game for 1,000 hours and you can do that in something else, it will work for you.
Bro, I use that same metaphor for like content creation and like even business in a way. I literally view it as in like, okay, I was able to get this fall camo on my intervention in MW2 by just going for headshots every game. And it's like every day in life is kind of just like, right, you're not killing people, but you're trying to do these things to like rank up, you know?
Yeah, no, it's a fact, bro. Video games taught me work ethic, ironically enough.
And when was it the first time that you said, like, how did you even realize that you could maybe make money editing videos? You were just watching YouTube and you saw people doing trick shots and you were just like, fuck it, I'm gonna start editing. And that was like the initial spark of your passion for creating videos.
Yeah, I made videos before that just for fun, just like stupid little like YouTube. We all did that, you know? But when I saw other people making money with this, I wanted to try it myself. That's really my whole life has been like that. Like finding people that are doing really good at something and just trying to emulate them, whether it has been e-commerce or whether it has been software or YouTube. It's always like I see somebody doing something and I go and try to do it for myself. So that's how it was when I was super young too.
Yeah, I think I've heard this quote that says, good artists copy, great artists steal. And it's like, you don't got to reinvent the wheel. You know, if someone's doing this shit successfully, you could probably do it too, but you got to grind.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest mistake that a lot of new people in content or in entrepreneurship make, is that they try to reinvent the whole thing when it's foolish. Like all you got to do is find what's working and add your own voice to it or add your own style to it. That's the fastest way to learn how to do stuff too. You know, you want to make a great YouTube video, go replicate a video that got 2 million views. And now you just learned how to make a 2 million view video. Even if it didn't hit right away, you put yourself at that level.
Yeah. And so now at this point, it's been what, 6 years? You started making videos when you were, you know, in your early teens, you know, but when did you officially start consistently uploading on YouTube?
Yeah.
And you were like, it's all in on this.
Yeah, so I actually started back in 2017, and I was posting on my main channel now, which has like, I think 1 million something subscribers. I was posting 3 videos a week, bro, just like grinding my face off, trying to reinvent the wheel, coming up with new concepts and stuff. And I posted 2-3 videos a week for years. From 2017, 2018, I was posting all the time. And my channel was just hard stuck at like 10,000, 20,000 subscribers. Really? So I quit. Around the end of 2018, I quit this channel that I have today. I quit for around 2 years. And I reignited the channel back in 2020. And that's when I started posting consistently. So from 2020 till today has been really where all my growth has happened.
Dude, that's so amazing because it's like everybody sees the results, but they don't see the fucking work that went into it. So before, because I remember I came across your content, there's one video that always, I just remember seeing your face and I was like, holy shit, who is this kid? And you were doing something with Mark Cuban, I think.
You thinking about Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary?
Oh, Kevin O'Leary. Yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
You did one with Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah.
And I think you were interviewing him or something. You were in Miami.
Yeah.
And I watched that video, and then I started watching a ton of your videos, even though I had no idea about drop shipping, but I learned a little bit about it. I think I made a Shopify store or something.
That's dope.
But 3 years prior to that, right? Would you say that was kind of like the period where things really started to start firing?
Yeah, so that video you're talking about is me interviewing Bitcoin billionaires, asking them for crypto advice. That's where I like snuck into a Bitcoin conference in Miami, literally like with no access or ticket, and just snuck my way to the media room and interviewed a bunch of people. At that point, though, I had already had like 200-something thousand subscribers. What really took my channel to the next level, going from 20K to my first like couple 100,000 subs, was I started an e-commerce store, like a dropshipping store. And I started documenting every single week the journey of building that business. I was sharing the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, and trying to give as much game for other people that wanted to start their first stores. And that really was the thing that took my channel off. Like, people just gravitated to it because it was real. Like, in every video, I would show my results of my store, and I would talk about, like I said, the good and the bad. And within 6 months of doing that, I had got to 100,000 subscribers.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming during that time when you were just, it was kind of like just your personal journal. You were just showcasing people like your journey trying to get rich by drop shipping and doing all this. Was your intention ever, or did you have in the back of your mind like that these videos could then potentially turn into like building an educational platform to teach people how to do, what you were doing? Or
Yeah,
was
100%.
it still really early on there?
It was like genuine wanting to share the journey, but I'm always thinking about things from a business perspective. And I had already had a education company at that time, but it was failing. Like, it had put me $30,000 in credit card debt, that company. At the time that I started doing YouTube videos, I had $30,000 in debt. So I figured that if I could grow this channel, then I can get people to sign up for this subscription. And that's exactly what happened. Within a year of posting consistently, we grew that company past 100K a month in profit. And that was the same company that literally almost made me go bankrupt. So I always thought about the business side of it. And I always treat YouTube like this. There's the passion side of it of just making videos, but then you have to look at it as a business. Like you two, like, what are you doing today, to try to grow this brand? I told him last time we was together that he got to come out with a TSL drink, man. Yeah. Like the healthiest seltzer TSL in the game. People would go crazy for that, bro. That junk would sell out off the shelves immediately.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something I've been wanting to dive into. And it's something I'm going to dive into for sure. Yeah. In the product game, but there's so many ideas that even the ones that we spoke about, I think would smash.
That's the idea.
Yeah, that's
like, because everybody leaning towards healthy alcohol and stuff like that. Like that idea would cook. But yeah, for me, it was always trying to see stuff from a business perspective. Even to this day, trying to see how I can monetize everything.
100%. I think that's so. I always love when people share their stories on multiple years of posting consistently, and like you were stuck at fucking 10, 25K, whatever it was.
Bro, so stuck. Like, it didn't make sense to me. I think a lot of people get in this position where like you're putting all this effort in and posting all this content and like it's not growing at all. But the big shift too came from like treating YouTube like a game and like trying to understand the game of YouTube.
Did you ever have like this? Because this is what happened to me when I was making content. Anytime my videos would flop, I would literally I would just be walking around in my dorm in college and be like, TikTok, keep making my videos flop. I was like, please don't give me views. It was like this weird thing I would do because I was like, I'm going to keep posting until I figure this shit out.
So you were talking to yourself?
Yeah, I would just be like, I was being kind of crazy. I was going crazy. I was like, please keep making my videos flop because one way or another, I'm going to just keep hammering and hopefully these will hit.
Hell yeah. I think we all have these little episodes in our journey. Like, I used to live in an apartment with like glass, like a bunch of windows everywhere. And I used to just write down all my shit on the windows. And like back then I thought it was kind of fly. But now when I'm looking back at it, I probably look like a psychopath. Like if you go into my house back in the day, I had all this Sharpie all over my windows. I used it as like a whiteboard.
Yeah.
But there's some schizo activities from the both of us, I think.
I think you got to be a bit schizo.
You got to. Everybody's hyping up autism these days, but I think schizo is the real underrated trait, man.
Bro, that you hit that on the head, bro.
Yeah, man. If you're not having multiple personalities, then something's not right with you.
Yeah, you got to get crazy. I'm not lying. I did some writing on my bathroom mirror as well and shit. Like,
yeah.
Crazy. It works.
Yeah.
That's nuts. What do you think what has changed, do you think, from the time where you started seeing your success in YouTube and now? Is consistency still the most important thing?
What has changed with the platform?
Yeah, with the platform. And do you think to become successful on YouTube has been the same formula?
No, it changed a lot in this last year. The big change that happened on YouTube in the last year is that I think people really want to see raw and authentic content more than ever before. Whereas before, it used to be like, make your videos 8 minutes on the dot, Mr. Beast style, super fast paced. Now it's like people want to watch you walk around for 30 minutes and yap about whatever. Why? Because it's real and it's authentic, and people are lonelier than they've ever been in society. And this type of content gives them the chance to feel like they're just hanging out with you. I feel like as a result of that, it's easier than ever to start a new YouTube channel because YouTube is really favoring this like underproduced raw style. I would say that is by far the biggest change that I see from YouTube today from when I started a couple years ago. Because back then it used to be like, who can make the most Mr. Beast style crazy video?
Yeah, bro, I've noticed that as well, even from like a consumption standpoint. The first time I DM'd you on Instagram was after I watched that video on your new channel, Jay Welch, where it's just you. I don't even know. You were in fucking mountains of Italy.
Yeah, I was in Positano.
That background was crazy.
Yeah.
So as raw as it was, that was a scene, bro, which added to the video, which is awesome. And of course, everything you spoke about, right? What you experienced from exiting your company and so forth. But along with those videos you're doing, there's other creators as well that are just like, I mean, you've seen the Sam Sulik. I don't know if you know this guy, Mashtag. Bro, fucking hilarious. This guy's just traveling with a GoPro, just going around all over the place, just jump cut after jump cut, no special effects, just crushing it.
That's what people are leaning towards nowadays because I think they got tired of all this crazy dopamine filled content. Of course, there's still a place for that, especially for the kids. But for the more older audiences, this is the stuff they like to watch. And that channel that you're talking about, my second channel, I don't edit the videos. I don't make thumbnails for the videos. I just come up with a title. I take out my iPhone and I start recording. And this channel is getting like 30 to 50,000 views a video. And I'm literally just yapping about whatever. Like I made a video called Reinvent Yourself. And I'll just talk about reinventing myself or you versus you. Like just random concepts that come to my mind. And I think anybody can make a channel like this. I don't know if your homepage looks like mine, but I get this homepage where it's all these new channels that are just making raw content that is getting hundreds of thousands of views. So YouTube it's a good time to make YouTube videos right now. I don't think I've ever seen a better time.
So you really like this change that you're seeing in the platform.
Yeah, because it makes it more accessible. Like back then, if you wanted to, even 2 years ago, if you really wanted to kickstart on YouTube, like you really have to come out the gate making like bangers. But now you can really make relatively low effort content and have success without big productions into it all.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, to be honest. And it just gives more opportunity to anyone who wants to make videos. But at the same time, although the door is open to more people, it's never been harder-ish for certain people to just be real and just be 100. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because of everything on social media.
Yeah, that's a challenge. A lot of people, myself included, you might not even fully know who you are. So how can you fully be authentic and be real? Like, everybody knows a little bit about themselves, but because we consume so much stuff, we end up being like pieces of all these things that we see. It's hard to be unique and it's hard to stand out, but all that it takes is just being yourself. I think you do a really good job about that. Like you're unfiltered, and I don't mean that in a way that you're like offensive. Like you're unfiltered in a way that like, yo, this is who I am and take me as I am. Like you're the same whether I see you in a professional setting like this or I see you at a party. Like it's one-to-one the exact same person. Those are my favorite type of people. All my best friends are like that.
Let's go.
But that's rare.
That's
rare these days.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, bro. I think it's good to hear it from someone I met recently. We met less than 6 months ago, or 6 months ago. And you can kind of see like that parallel between me on and off camera, because all my friends from like back in the day that have known me since I was little, that like I don't see anymore or haven't seen in years, and they'll run into someone and be like, they'll mention Daddy Wallace and like, what the fuck? I've known him for so long. And he's like, that's the same little fidgety fucker from back in the day. Yeah, man, I don't know. I really don't know what it is. And I don't think there's an answer to it, but I just feel like that's the way to go. It's like, I don't know.
I think you know
what I mean?
It's like some people is naturally like that. Some other people got to do some more work to find that. But maybe what I'm coming to realize is like the less shit that you consume, the more you'll be yourself. The less inputs you have, the more you can let your mind just like be, and then you end up being comfortable as yourself. Yeah, I think, but who knows?
Are you consuming a lot? Do you do doom scrolling?
Yeah, I definitely doom scroll. I'm trying to tone it down though, man, because I can notice such a big difference in the days where I don't do that. Like, it's crazy. Like, I feel like my actual self, but just 1 hour a day on Reels, bro, I'm cooked. Like my whole brain chemistry is off for that whole day. Maybe I'm super sensitive to it, but you know what I'm saying, man.
100%.
Like, it makes me like anxious.
Yeah, it's so crazy the days I'm at fault for it. I'll wake up and I'll start scrolling a little bit, and then like I'll just feel like mentally just foggy.
Yeah, scrolling 8 a.m. in the bed on the wake up is like the craziest shit you can do. And so many people do it. So I've done it too. Like there's literally, other than doing some like hard drugs or something, there's not a worse way to start your day than like waking up and scrolling short form content.
It's awful.
Yeah. That might as well be a hard drug. For your brain, it's like it's the most addicting one. You know?
Have you seen these videos that have been coming out recently where it's like two people, like this guy runs into his friend on the street and he's like, yo, can I get one? Can I get one of those? And he's like, what do you need? He's like, let me get a scroll. And like the guy passes him his phone and he like scrolls twice on his homie's phone just to get like a hit. And then he keeps
just to feel something.
That shit's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's like it's a joke, but it's so real. Like we are so addicted to this shit. It's so cliche. It's not worth a full convo, but it's real. Like we are so addicted to this algorithm, and I'm trying to step back from it. I feel the opposite of it for me is reading a book. Like, I've always been a big reader. I love to read books, and I would attribute a lot of my success today to reading books. If you want to feel the opposite of what Reels make you feel, go read a book for an hour. You'll feel sharper. You'll feel more in control of your thoughts. You'll feel smarter, and you actually feel like you're having a productive use of your time. So I think for me, that's what I try to switch it out with. Even on the way over here, I was trying to read instead of being on my phone, and it's a 40-minute Uber ride, so I read the whole way. I come in here feeling sharp, ready for the show.
How come you didn't drive the McClizzy over here?
I try to optimize my time, bro. Like, for me to take the whip and drive 45 minutes right now is a bad use of my time. I sat in the back of the Uber and read for 45 minutes. That's like, one is like me sitting there listening to Playboy Cardi on full tilt, driving over here with the windows down. The other is like, sophisticated learning. I'm responding to clients. Like, it's...
Yeah, that makes sense.
I drive the McLaren every day, though, pretty much. I love that car.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you more about that car shortly. Yeah. But I wanted to ask, when did you get into reading? Because I have a tough time, man, even reading for 10 minutes.
Yeah, you got to work on that, bro. I started reading when I was like 16, and I was the biggest book hater of them all. Like, I had really bad grades in school. I would have really bad grades in language arts, especially in English class, because I didn't want to read. But the secret is finding a book that is interesting to you. And it's challenging. But if you can find a book that's interesting to you, then suddenly reading is not that boring. For me, I remember the first book that really like got me excited about reading was called The Millionaire Fastlane. It was basically the story of this guy who went from working a dead-end job to making millions of dollars from the internet. And this was pre-Iman Gadzhi and pre all these, people like myself on the internet. So the stories of people that did that were like few and far between. So when I read this story of this guy that made millions of dollars making little blog posts on the internet, I just became obsessed with this book. So it's about finding stuff that is interesting to you. Like, what's the best book that you feel like you've read in your life?
The most recent one was I read Elon Musk's biography by Ashley Vance.
That's a long book.
Did you read it?
I didn't get into.
Well, I actually didn't read it. I listened to the audiobook.
Nice.
And I thought that was really cool because
Yeah.
I've always been curious of like, this guy's a nut job. You know what I mean? He's a genius / trying to conquer the moon and Mars and all this shit. And I'm just like, how do you even get to this point? And funny enough, have you read the book?
I haven't read it yet. No.
Back when he was in middle school, he would go to his local library and he would read every book to the point where he had to ask the librarian to order him encyclopedias. So like, that's some crazy shit.
That is some autistic, crazy activity.
Yeah, he might be autistic.
But that is, yeah, you want to be on that level. That's what it takes. I mean, all of the world's best leaders are readers. You know, everybody that you can think of that has gone on to be super successful, with the exception of Kanye, who famously hates reading and hates books. They all read books, man. I don't have a single person in my life that I look up to that doesn't read, because all the best wisdom of the world is hidden in those books. That's the only chance that you have to go have a conversation with a great philosopher or a great businessman that's been passed. You ain't gonna find it from a YouTube video.
Facts. Books definitely go way more in depth with everything.
And like, it's boring at first, I know, but when you find a book that you like I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's fun, but maybe I'm just getting old.
Nah, I mean, you see it with everyone, bro, who's crushed it. You know, it's like very few people, and I feel like those who say like, oh, like I became super rich and wealthy, but you don't need to fucking read a book. I feel like that's kind of just like a marketing bullshit. Like, oh, like just trying to make people feel like it's easier than it is.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. Like, I got homies that are like, 18, 19, making a bunch of money with crypto, and these guys never pick up a book in their life. But there's different levels. Like, I've met so many different levels of successful people, and I'm telling you, that upper echelon, like the people that really got it, they're reading all the time.
Yeah. What is one of your favorite books? Is it that one that you just mentioned?
Yeah, when it comes to making money, The Millionaire Fastlane is one of my favorite books that I recommend people to read. Oh, I've read so many. I really like reading about Stoicism. That was something that changed my life. So Meditations by Marcus Aurelius is one of the greatest books ever. It's basically, Marcus Aurelius is one of the greatest leaders of all time. And he had every material object you could ever think of. And after he passed away, his diary got leaked, and they turned it into this book called Meditations. And it's really a special book because you go and read it, and you literally getting to see that this man that was multi-millionaire, super famous, everything, going through the same stuff as you, but you get to learn how he handled it. We could talk about books for hours, but I think we should change it up a little bit. But yeah, I've read a bunch of books, bro. If you have any specific topics, I'll give you a book recommendation for it.
For sure. No, I'm definitely gonna ask you. But no, it's funny. I want to ask you about, what the fuck do you think? You mentioned Kanye.
Yeah.
You're a big Kanye fan.
Yeah, Kanye, my favorite artist. Now, that tweet crash out makes it very dangerous to say what I just said, but he must have just had some crazy drugs in his system or something like that, because that shit was crazy. But also, historically, if you look at Ye, every time he's about to launch an album, launch a collection of clothes, he does this. He does this crazy tweet storm that gets the people riled up, and then he ends up making something great. The people hate him for a little while, and then they go back to loving him, and then he messes it all up again.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, this last one, though.
This last one was insane.
Insane. I can't even stand up for the man on the last one. I don't back none of that shit. That shit was crazy.
Yo, didn't he get actually banned off X?
Nah, he didn't get banned. I mean, fuck if I know, but I heard that he just deactivated his own account.
Yeah.
But he did get banned on Shopify.
I saw that.
That's crazy.
He's a fucking marketing genius, bro.
Literally one of the GOATs of all time.
Like, even going back to the Super Bowl commercial last year that he did.
He did it again this year.
I didn't see it pop up, which was crazy. On this one, he was getting a new pair of grills done, and he was like, go to Yeezy.com or whatever it was.
That is the perfect example of like going against the grain. People seeing all these overproduced commercials, bro, just like, yo, that probably got more attention than any of the overproduced commercials. In my opinion, Super Bowl commercials kind of fell off a little bit. Maybe it's not the nostalgia hitting the same, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when you used to watch them back in high school or something, they used to hit different. But lately,
yeah, 100%. And even the halftime show, I love Kendrick, but I wasn't a big fan of that halftime show. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought it was dope, but it wasn't on that Michael Jackson halftime show level. You ever seen the YouTube clip of that?
I'm not.
They got to get Seth Troxler halftime show. Man.
Yeah, that would be fucking crazy. Nah, I thought the Kendrick one was okay in my opinion. I just felt like there was a few like elite level tracks of his, like money trees or like swimming pools that he didn't do.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bro, like this would have, but he did a great job. I thought
The problem is rap don't really translate so well in that type of performance. Like I don't really go to rap concerts anymore. Like when I was younger, I used to go to Rolling Loud and all this stuff, but like rap concerts are kind of boring, bro. Like it's not my favorite. Travis Scott got a good concert, but like other than that, I'm not going to a Kendrick concert if I'm being honest. Like,
yeah, bro, it's funny you say that because the same thing, I kind of went through like the same type of thing. I was like, I went to Travis Scott in Grand Central. You know, Grand Central is in downtown.
No.
It's like, bro, it used to be an abandoned parking lot with a DIY skate park in this one little cinder block building that was like a warehouse. And before Travis released Antidote, I don't know if you know of that song.
Of course, yeah.
Before he released that song, he did a show in Grand Central, Miami. Tickets were $20, bro. He just pulled up. He was under 21, and like supposedly he like asked for a bottle of Henny. And like I just met the guy who used to own Grand Central, and it was the craziest concert ever.
Real rager. Like nothing has changed about him.
And that was, I mean, after that, I went to Rolling Loud a few times because the first one ever was in Mono Wynwood as well. I remember I still have a picture of the ticket in my email. $60 for a Rolling Loud ticket. Now it's like $300.
We were both there. When I was younger, I went to the first Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Moshing?
But I used to be in the mosh pits heavy, bro. Even still today, I would like to do that again, but I don't know. We'll see. I would like to go see like Cardi's show or something like that live, but these days I don't really go to rap shows. Like I like to go to the raves and stuff like that. But other than that, you won't see me at a concert for real.
Yeah. You know, it's funny when I came across your Instagram a while back, whatever, I saw you always getting out to these raves and stuff, and I was like, damn, like you're really into the music and stuff. When did you get into electronic music, dance music, and all that?
I always been into it for a long time. I don't know exactly when. I guess when I was a kid, I just always used to listen to it. And when I moved out here, I started to go out more because the LA scene is horrible. It doesn't really exist. Like there is none of that over there. But when I moved out here, I started to go out a little bit more, started to go to space. And then I started to do like the circuit and go to Tulum and see stuff in other countries. And I just realized that it's the best parties in the world. Like 5 years ago, like when I come to this realization, it made me not want to go to any other type of parties. Like I have no fun, like I said, at a rap concert or like at Live nightclub. Like it's just, you know, I want to hear some good ass music. Yeah. I want to catch a vibe. Like I enjoy those shows a million times more than anything else.
Yeah, I don't think there's any vibe that compares to it at all.
But it's crazy because some people is not like some people's complete haters of it. But we had some good times together.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun.
Circo Loco, Art Basel,
3 points.
3 points.
Yeah, maybe some more to come.
Hopefully, yeah. Music Week.
Yeah,
Music Week for sure.
Were you always? Have you always had a balanced lifestyle though? Because I feel like a lot of people, you know, in your position, you know, you've had incredible success. You sold your company, etc. Like a lot of them preach that monk mode lifestyle, and I know you've mentioned before. You know, sometimes you wake up at 10 a.m. You know what I mean? How has that been?
I think the whole monk mode and being super disciplined is extremely important. But as you grow, these things can be a little bit more malleable. Like I have friends that are billionaires that sleep in every day because they have full-on teams that run their whole operation. All they need to do is get on the phone, do some meetings throughout the day, and operate. But if you're at like the beginning of your journey, these things are going to help you so much. Like waking up earlier, working out, being on your biohacking. Like these are things that are going to get you to where you want to go even faster. I still very much focus on these things as best as I can. Like I'm not like full out here, like sleeping every day, brain rot, doom scroll. Like no, like every day I try to train. I don't use alarms though. Like I wake up when my body wakes up and then I start my day. That's one thing where I don't optimize. Like I'm not 5 a.m. guy at all.
Yeah. I also wake up with the sun. I feel like it just feels great.
That's a blessing, bro. You know how many people like would pray for the opportunity to just like be able to wake up without an alarm?
Yeah.
I have to remind myself that sometimes. Because you wake up after 9:30, boy, you feel like you just wasted the whole day.
Yeah. That's so fucking true, bro.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder for those in the position, that can't do that.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. But going back, to when you were building your company, because this has been, you would say, your greatest accomplishment so far in life.
What, selling the company?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them.
And this was, this was a 4-year progress of you building this company, right? Walk us through a little bit of, for those who may not know, the company you built and kind of that journey.
Yeah, so I built this company in 2018 called Viral Vault. It's an e-commerce education platform. We have tools, training, community. And I started this company when I had the YouTube channel only at like 10, 20,000 subscribers. The business partner that I started the company with basically scammed me out of all the money we had made after 2 months. We had like 15 grand stacked up. He took all the money, did the dash on me, and I had to figure out how to rebuild it myself. So I used basically the last of my savings to rebuild the app from scratch. And that's what put me in debt, like I told you about before. And that company basically almost sent me into bankruptcy. Like literally in 2020, it was at that level. But I started doing YouTube again. I started documenting the journey of building another e-commerce business, and my channel blew up. And as a result, that software product blew up. And from 2020 to 2024 or 2023, we did just around 6-7 million in revenue. And then this company last year got acquired by another e-commerce software giant called AutoDS, and they cashed me out. So it was crazy that this thing that literally almost sent me to the grave ended up being like my financial freedom for years to come.
Yeah, so from 30K in debt to a multi-7-figure exit.
Crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, I'm blessed,
At 27.
Yeah.
And you spoke about this in that one video, right? When the wire hit, it was like you felt depressed.
Yeah, well, what happened was I made this video and it was called I just sold my company for millions and now I'm depressed. And it was a good clickbait title,
But a lot of people have spoken about that shit.
It was also how I felt, not right away.
Right.
Not right away. But what happened was I had got a bunch of money hit my bank account overnight. Like I'm talking, you do like a double, triple take at your bank account. And then I immediately sent it to Europe for the bender to remember. I went Ibiza, Amsterdam, Mykonos, and I'm talking like we're partying every night, if not every other night, daytime beach clubs partying. I'm going shopping. I'm like, you might as well just be spraying the clip on everything. After about 3 weeks of this, that's when the depression set in. The best analogy I can give, I don't know if you ever play like RuneScape or World of Warcraft or anything like that.
No, I haven't played those.
Well, basically, when you get to the end of those games, right, you're max level. You have all the armor, all the gear. You conquered all the lands. You beat all the bosses. The game is boring. There's no point to play the game. The only thing that will make the game fun at that point is starting a new character and rebuilding it from scratch. And that's the transformation that I've had to go through over the last couple of months. Because that game of building that company, it was done. I beat that game. So now it's like, I need to figure out what is the next game. And that was what caused that depression in my mind. I call it depression, whatever you want to call it. That was what caused that confusion in my mind. Because I'm like, well, damn, I thought I was supposed to feel amazing. I beat the game. But I'm like feeling confused afterwards.
The game is what makes you feel fucking alive.
Yeah, playing the game is the fun part. Like, I was watching the Super Bowl, and I was just thinking about this. Like, the people that win the Super Bowl, do you think in the moment they're feeling amazing? Or do you think, like, when the night is all said and done and they're, like, going to bed, they're kind of like, damn, like, it's all over now? Like, what do you think about this?
I agree. I think I spoke about it with Rob the Bank. It's what he calls the arrival fallacy. It's like, once you get there and you feel it, you just realize, like, it's not, the feeling doesn't compare to when you were probably trying to figure out how the fuck you were going to get out of 30K in debt. That's like, you're firing on all engines. It's
crazy though, because at that moment, like, I felt horrible. Like, it was the most depressed that I had ever been. But it's like, coming out of that is the greatest feeling.
Yeah.
That journey of rising out of it. But yeah, look at the Super Bowl guys. Like, do you think that they probably have more fun playing in the Super Bowl than that celebration after the Super Bowl. For sure they do.
I think they're probably lost in translation. Like in that game, you can even see it, like the energy on the field. Like these guys are fighting for their life.
Yeah.
And then once it's over, you know, locker room, it starts hitting you, probably start coming down a bit. But I think that shit must linger for a bit, man.
Yeah, it's got to. They do the parade, they do the whole Disneyland tour, but just like I did. Yeah. And then a couple weeks after, you're like, oh my God, I have to do a whole nother 16 game season and try to do this again. You know?
Yeah. The bender to remember.
I just made that shit up.
That's a great.
It was a good one.
That's a really good one.
It was a good one. Any DJ you think of, any major club you could think of, we went there.
What do you think the main differences you felt from, you know, having super high income to then having through the roof like liquid cash? Like
it's not very different. Because all the things that I do now is stuff that I was doing before. The big difference comes from when you start to know people and get good friends. Like, you talking about like with partying or just with life in specific?
Just in general, bro. Like, you know, you go from making like a fuck ton of money on a month-to-month basis to then suddenly you just have it all at once hit your bank account.
By the time I sold my company, I already had enough money to do whatever we wanted. Like I was already, you know, traveling very well and staying in nice hotels, and I had a nice car. Like, so nothing really changed that much for me. I guess I had a new sense of a little bit of security.
Yeah.
Like a little bit more of security. Because since I lost all my money years ago, I still carry some of that fear about losing it again. But after the sale, a lot of that went away. That was one big change. But my life didn't really change that much.
Yeah, because probably maybe the thought crossed your mind where it's like, I can chill out now for a bit.
Yeah.
You know, like all these fucking years of working, like I can kind of sit back, help out the fam.
Yeah, that's like I said, that's what I tried to do. You know, I did all these like check off the box. You know, like I bought my mom a crib, bought my dad's crib, I bought a rental property, I bought the supercar, I bought another car, I went to Europe, did all this shit. But then in the end, I'm like, all right, like I'm ready to play the game again. So that's where I'm at in my life today, is like trying to have fun playing the game. Have you ever heard the story of the Mexican fisherman?
No.
Okay, so there's an American businessman, and he takes a trip to Mexico. And on his trip, he sees this Mexican fisherman, small boat, just reeling in one or two big fish. So he stops him. He says, hey, that's a nice fish. How long did it take to catch? He goes, not that long. And the businessman goes, what do you do with the rest of your time? He goes, well, I like to sleep in. I play with my kids. I hang out with my wife. I play guitar with my friends. The American businessman goes up to him and says, well, man, if you just spend a little bit more time each day fishing, you can make more money. Then you can use that money to invest in a bigger boat, have people fishing for you. Eventually, you could reach a point where you're having all these boats in the water and making millions of dollars, getting richer than you could ever imagine. And then he says, well, what would I do then? He goes, well, then you can sleep in a little, you can fish, you can hang out with your wife, you can play with your kids, and play guitar with your friends. That story to me is like, you can do the things you love without having to worry so much about the accomplishment side of them. And that story connects with me because that's how I feel like I am right now in my life, like trying to make videos just because I want to do them, not because it's going to bring me money, fame, success, all these things. Like finding love in just creating the videos.
Right. It's that it's kind of like going back to what gave you that spark initially of just making content, making movies. Bro, your fucking videos are insane now.
And thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Did you ever imagine like your videos would get to this scale? How many people are helping you produce some of these videos?
Like the short films, it's really just 2 of us, 3 of us.
And you're directing this.
So I direct and produce the videos, but I have another guy named Sakeb, and he really steps up as the lead director when we're on the scene because I'm always in the camera. And then I have my guy, Teo, who I've been working with for 4 years now, and he's like the best cinematographer I've ever seen in my life. So it's just us. Yeah, 3-person crew.
That's so fucking sick.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I feel like this story about the Mexican fisherman, was it?
Yeah.
It kind of like talks about this concept of like wanting more, right?
Yeah, like is wanting more just to end up doing
The same shit.
doing the same shit.
Exactly.
Like why would you want to get rich so you could just like do the same stuff you could do, when you're broke, but just have a little bit of security in it.
Right. And so, I mean, so you're back at this point now where you're kind of just like not searching. I mean, you're doing what really gives you that like spark of joy and just creation. You're not even focused on the result.
Yeah, not so much. I mean, of course, we always are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
My video doesn't do good. It still bothers me for sure. And of course, I still want to grow my companies and everything. But it's just learning to have fun with the videos, like I did in the beginning. That's where I'm at right now.
I think I've been feeling the same type of way with like trying to get, as I'm getting more into like long form content, because I've posted over fucking 600-700 short form TikToks.
That's crazy.
Reels, and it's been sick. You know what I mean? And I'm kind of been in this phase like where it's like, what's giving me that spark? Mm-hmm. Because like you said, in the beginning, right, of making short form, it was like not even thinking about like the result of the video or anything. It was just so much joy for it that like it unconsciously made it be super successful. You know what I mean? And so that's something I've been feeling with like making longer videos now.
Yeah, I like the new videos you've been doing. I think they're cool. That's actually how I found you, was from your long form content. I had never even seen the short form stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was watching you and him on this Italy tour or wherever you were with Seth.
Yeah, well, fucking all over the place.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's how I found you. But yeah, bro, it's important, find what gives you that spark. And for some people, it could just be something as simple as fishing, or for some of us, we want to make videos. So,
and that's what you're currently working on, right?
Yeah. So making the short films on my channel is more like a passion project. But I started another company a couple months ago, and that's been my main focus. It's a YouTube consulting firm, and we've been growing very fast. And actually, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier today. I built this company almost to 7 figures in 6 months with a brand new YouTube channel that only has like 3,000 subscribers. I got all my customers, and most of my sales came from this tiny little YouTube channel. That's the state that we're living in right now with YouTube. You can make so much money with small channels. It's never been like that. This is like the first time I've ever seen it this way.
It's no longer about the amount of followers. It's about the It's about like knowing who you're targeting with your content. Would you say that? Would you say that's along like the same lines?
Yeah, for sure.
Because like with 3,000 followers, most people probably like I've seen it firsthand. Like some friends who have just 5-10K followers and they're running some sort of info offer and they're killing it. But like most people from the outside see someone with 3,000 followers and they're like, oh, this is just a random person. Like you can't capitalize off that amount of followers.
It's very true. Especially if you have a high ticket offer, you don't need tens of thousands of people. So in this case, we have 3,000 subscribers, but for me to make $100,000 a month, I need to sell only 3 of my products. So imagine if I sold all 3,000.
Imagine if you had 30,000 subs.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know what I mean? That's how it goes. There's a lot of people that do this successfully, and I'm in this world where I see it all the time. You had one on there, TJR, earlier. He's also doing this very well. So we live in a good time, man, to make money from the internet. I would say we live in the best time of history to make money and become successful. And it won't always be this way. I don't think so.
This is probably like the easiest it's ever been to make money.
Yeah, I would say so. I genuinely believe that.
Do you have any friends who aren't entrepreneurs that work, more corporate jobs?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like a lot of my homies, from back home, they're not business guys. Like over the years, like they might ask me to like help them start a business and stuff, but like not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
That's one thing I learned about life. But yeah, I got a lot of friends in different places. Like I think it's a bad habit if you put yourself in an echo chamber of like only hanging out with YouTubers or only hanging out with football players, or like it's good to have different perspectives. Like one of my best friends, he's an artist, he's a painter. Like he's not a business guy whatsoever. So imagine the conversation with my business friends versus with this guy. You getting complete opposite outlooks on life.
Different vibrations, and it just adds more to your creativity and what you do, probably.
Yeah. So I like to keep all different types of people around me.
Yeah, I think I try and do the same, I would say. Except recently I haven't been just been locked in here, just grinding, getting things going.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm the same. I spend most of my time with my actual team and by myself.
Yeah. I was just thinking about Fuck, I fucking forgot what I was gonna ask you.
No, you good, bro. That TSL hitting.
The TSL hitting.
It's actually good though.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I didn't even eat so much today either, so it's
Yeah, dude. I mean, we ate a little bit before this. We were at the beach, but
getting it right.
It's a bit strong. What was it I was gonna say, bro? Fucking hell. Yeah, something along the lines of, oh yeah, right. But we were talking about our friends who work corporate jobs. Sometimes I wonder to myself, though, I don't know if this thought crosses your mind, and I'm aware and agree that not everyone wants to be, an entrepreneur, do all this crazy shit of starting their own business. But like, it's so blatantly obvious, the possibilities on the internet, from the most basic selling some shit on TikTok Shop. There's 14-year-olds out there making 6 figures plus, like on a month-to-month basis. And it's
crazy.
And it just makes me wonder, like, I mean, I love all my boys who are working in banking and crushing it and pursuing, this corporate, life and running up the ladder. But it's just like, bro, do you not feel me on that a little bit?
100%. I think
it's so crazy to me.
I think everybody should take a shot at entrepreneurship and then decide if it's for you or not. But it's not for everybody. For me, the hardest part of being a business owner is while some people can go and work a 9 to 5, once they get home, they can flip that switch. And now I'm home. So now I can hang out with my wife. I can hang out with the dogs. I can chill. I feel like as a business owner, it's a lot harder to flip that switch, especially if you work at home. If you're working at the crib, then, well, you live in your office and everything around you reminds you of your business. So you're always on. You're always thinking about the business. That, for me, in the last 10 years has been sort of the biggest challenge because it's difficult to turn your mind off of business. I'm always thinking about how to grow on YouTube. I'm always thinking about how to grow my company. I never get that off switch. So that's why I think some people are better off at the 9 to 5 because I wouldn't wish this on everybody.
I 100% agree. I think that is the biggest challenge for sure. It's that constant switch on. You've been hanging out with family or friends and shit, and you're in the middle of a conversation, and suddenly I'm just like thinking about how are we going to reduce churn?
Yeah.
What's going to be the video for next month? Oh shit, I forgot I got to go do this and start planning out this video. And it's like, at the same time, I love that shit in a way because it fucking lights that fire. But then again, I mean, like anything has trade-offs. And I think I've even seen content recently now where like the whole internet entrepreneur thing has become so popular that people have started to hate a lot on the 9 to 5 life, which like you said just now, there's beauty to simplicity and coming home and shutting off. And you're chilling for the day. You do what you got to do. Family, wake up next day, pull up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the people that hate on the 9 to 5 are losers. I cannot stand on the internet when I see people making fun of 9 to 5 workers. I think it's the dumbest trend I've ever seen. Like, if it wasn't for them, there's no infrastructure in society. Everything that you love in the world falls apart. And I think the worst thing ever is when I see like entrepreneur gurus and stuff trashing 9 to 5s when they literally have employees that work for them. How do you think that makes your team feel? So I've never been one to bash a 9 to 5. Growing up, I knew a job wasn't for me because I felt like God had a greater purpose for me, and I felt that from a very young age. But the hate of 9 to 5s is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
But you can blame, I guess, the internet for that, or maybe even people like myself for like showing kids this other way to live and make them not want to do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, you were one of the front runners, though, I would say, in the whole space. With I don't know if front runner is the right fucking word. That's actually that's the word for like when people shill some fucking stock. Or whatever.
I've been shilling coins since before. No. Yeah, I've been doing this for a while, bro. But
it must be really interesting. I mean, I feel like you could talk about it for hours on like the way you kind of see how this whole internet entrepreneurship space has become. Because it is pretty taboo nowadays. I was reading the comments on one of your recent videos where people were like applauding you for keeping it so real and saying like there's some people arguing with like, oh, thank God for Jordan for giving us so much value and it's not just shoving a course down. And then another person was like, but he sells an info product. He does. And then another person was like, but he's actually one of the good ones. Not everyone who sells a course is a fucking scammer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What have you seen in that?
The problem with most gurus today on the internet is that they try to come into the game and act like they have everything perfect already. And they have the best life and the best girls and the best parties, and everything is just solved in their life. They have no problems. And listen, that will get attention for a while. People will think you're the coolest guy in the world until you slip, until something goes wrong. Then they have no more respect for you, and they feel like, well, that's not the person that I signed up for. This is the big problem with like the internet make money gurus. And this is why everybody laughs at them and says that they all look corny, is because they're all trying to like pretend like everything is perfect in their life. I think what I've always tried to do is be very open about my shortcomings, talking about the stuff that I'm going through, talking about when my businesses are failing, talking about when things aren't going right. And for people that's wanting to get out there and make videos today, I would say that's the most important thing that you can do, is share the struggle, because the perfect person doesn't exist. Nobody can relate to that person. You look at them like a cartoon character, like Johnny Bravo or something. Like, it's not a real human. We can only relate to another broken person. You know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
So that's the big problem with like this whole make money content today. Like, that's why it's all getting memed and making it look funny, because these kids take themselves too fucking serious and try to act like they have it all figured out. It's not supposed to be that.
Yeah, I can definitely tell, like, I mean, of course you're passionate about it, you see it, but it's like, must be a bit frustrating, you know what I mean?
It's not frustrating. I laugh at a lot of it.
It's pretty funny.
I think it's corny and goofy. A lot of the kids, especially in Miami, that's making like make money online content, like, if only they could see like how it looks. Like the younger ones especially, that's just like flexing a brickle apartment that they're sharing with 4 dudes and like a BMW, you know, like I got a BMW too, but it's about how you present these things.
Yeah.
You know, like
100%.
You know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying.
I've seen it all. I spoke to Moose about this, someone else recently. I think we have this sixth sense in the back of our mind where you can just tell when someone's being real. Like, you just know, you know what I mean? Whether it's like the way they promote, you know, their business on social media, or the brickle apartment, or the BMW, or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? You can just tell.
Yeah. Watch out for Brickell City Center views, man. You gotta be cautious of these course sellers, man. Apartments are cheap, but you know what I'm saying, bro. That's, I think, the big problem with this little industry that I'm in, and it taints the rest of the industry.
It does.
And we won't even get into it, but there's a lot of scammers too. You know, people that selling products that are garbage and laughing to the bank with it. So I try to change that. That's my whole thing. It's like, just try to be real with the people. And maybe I missed out on millions of dollars by not doing it a bit more aggressive, but it's been working okay.
I think that's something that I've even felt like the backlash from the standpoint that, like, I've built shit that I'm genuinely like 100% invested in, super proud of, know it's super good. But then when it comes to the point of going to market and pushing it through my platforms and socials, I feel like there's that underlying taboo of like people just making negative assumptions, which I think at the end that's more of a personal thing as opposed to just fucking, you know, standing, you know, tall and knowing what the fuck you're offering and all that. But
it's in your head. Like, people, if they love you, they want to buy stuff from you.
Yeah.
They would rather buy from you than from the Super Bowl commercial. Like, if given the choice, and your fans can comment on this, if given the choice to buy Bud Light or your new TSL product, 99% of them are going to go for your new thing because they want to support you. They don't want to support, you know, these big conglomerate companies that have been around for 100 years. They want to buy from people. That's the big shift in society today, is that like people want to buy from people. The biggest beauty brands are all influencers. The biggest fashion brands that are up and coming are the same.
Yeah, I saw you go to your local farmer's market recently. You're about the people, brother.
I love the farmer's market. I go every Saturday. Don't look for me there.
You drinking raw milk?
I actually been vegan for like 8 years, and I just stopped being vegan in December.
While you were in Uruguay?
I was, in Argentina.
Oh.
Had some asado.
And how was eating meat for the first time in 8 years?
Pause, but it was good, bro. It was good. I can't even lie to you. I had some asado. I had some steak. I had some milanesas.
Dove right in.
Yeah, you know, it was one of those things where, like, we're here now. Let's see what I've been missing out on. You know, but I've done so much research on the whole, like, animal, like, factory farming and stuff that I still it still doesn't fully sit right with me. Like, I think it's fucked up how we get animal products in America. Like, it's so corrupted. That's why I stopped eating meat in the first place. But I realized that if I want to be at my max level of healthiness, I need to eat some animal products. So I'm still like 80% vegetarian.
Yeah.
But, you know, working a little grass-fed steak in there.
Nice.
A little chicken.
Fire.
You know.
Did it feel weird the first time you ate it, like digestively?
I was scared about that, but no. I was worried though. But yeah. Our bodies, I guess, are made to handle this.
Yeah, and
it's busted.
Have you felt any difference in how you feel?
More energy.
More energy.
Yeah, more energy.
So after 8 years of not having any animal products, reintroduced them 2 months ago, you now feel a bit more energy.
Yeah, because as a vegan, it's really hard to get iron and B12. And if I'm not supplementing those things properly, my energy levels crash like crazy. So even just eating a little bit of animal products brings those levels back to normal almost overnight.
Yeah, I have a family member as well who was vegetarian for 10 years.
Yeah.
Started eating animal protein again about a year ago. And she says that she just feels like her skin is glowing more and like she's got more energy and all this different stuff.
Yeah. I think the vegan diet, though, kept me super healthy. Like, I feel like, you know, I was able to keep a good physique and train hard and run fast. And I never felt like I was missing anything on the vegan diet. But towards the end, I just wanted to optimize even further.
Yeah.
Some other stuff.
And you spend a lot of time in Argentina, right?
That's what makes it hard, traveling. Because when you travel as a vegan or vegetarian, if you go to restaurants and stuff, you end up getting stuck eating a lot of pasta or veggie burgers or bullshit. Yeah. It's like, then you're like, well, this is worse than if I was eating just a steak or something.
Yeah.
You know?
And the meat in Argentina is some of the best.
Pause, bro.
No,
chill out, bro.
You know what I'm talking about.
Flag on the play.
You know, Brazil, Argentina, they got good steaks. They got good shit.
No, they do.
So you brought back animal protein to your life, which you hadn't consumed in a long time. What about weed? I know you made a video talking about what you felt throughout a year. I think it was of no weed. How did that feel?
I still don't smoke weed. I quit weed now for over 2 years. I'll never say never, but I like my life better without weed. Weed was making me anxious all the time, and like I thought that it was helping me be more calm. But after I quit for a month, I realized that that was the source of a lot of my stress and anxiety. But I became relatively successful while still smoking weed every day. But I didn't reach my real stride until I stopped smoking, because I felt like I could finally tap into my real brain. I got some friends that are super rich that smoke weed, but for most people, I think you shouldn't smoke. I think it's a terrible habit. The weed smokers are the only drug addicts in the world that don't think that they're drug addicts. People who smoke weed every single day and then will come to you and say that they're not addicted to it. I can quit anytime. That used to be me, bro.
That was me too.
Yeah.
I would get memed at school because I would be like, I'm quitting tomorrow. I'd pull up to school. Blasted, brother. First thing I was doing was pulling out the Kingpen in after waking up. I would do the same thing. I'd walk over to under my closet. There was one little yellow bulb. I would rip it and the smoke would just like climb into the mist of the light bulb and I would just be fried. But same to you.
That morning blinker hit different, boy.
That morning blinker was different for sure. Right. But I stopped in 2019 and I have to admit that was when I started Daddy Wellness. And even though I wasn't consistent there, like I just felt like I could see 100% clearly.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about not being productive while smoking weed, because I did a ton of shit while I was high and stuff. All throughout high school, got good grades and all that. But it was kind of like once you were just so in the loop of being high, it would kind of escape. Like it was kind of like the indirect way of escaping from some of the shit you had to get done. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like you knew what you had to get done, but then sometimes you just get high to kind of just like not align the actions with the vision. And for me, as soon as I realized that, I was like, holy shit, bro. It's not because weed made me really anxious and paranoid at certain times. Like it gave me this anxiety. And I realized it's not the weed that's making me anxious. It's that the weed is not allowing me to align my actions with my vision of what I want to accomplish. And that was making me anxious.
That's real, bro. Weed for me was doing something similar. Like I would become okay with doing nothing or doing less than I needed to do. And when I stopped, I realized all this stuff that I wasn't doing. And now I'm bored because I'm not high. So the only thing left to do is do the stuff that I know I need to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm proud of you, bro. Congrats for letting that go. Because it was really hard for me to quit. Like, quitting weed was one of the harder things that I've had to do. I'm talking 1 month where I would sweat through all my blankets and sheets. I would have the most insane nightmares you could ever imagine with, like, the most vivid visuals. I would have cravings all day. Y'all can call me weak or whatever, but I was smoking a lot. Quitting weed was one of the hardest things I've done. It took me a good month until I started feeling like normal.
Yeah, I can 100% relate to that. And you haven't toked once? Not even a little hit, like at a beach or like casual thing?
Nah, in 2 years, no. But, well, 4 months after I quit, the only time that I've ever even hit a joint one time in the last 2 years, I was in Argentina and I was with some gauchos. You know what gauchos are?
I've been to a restaurant called El Gaucho, but...
So gauchos are cowboys.
Okay.
Like old school Argentina cowboys. And I was with my girl and we were riding the horse with the cowboys in the mountains of Argentina vibes. Well, the guy starts talking in Spanish, talking about how he grows weed out here in the forest while we're walking past it. And he's basically telling me like, yeah, like you got to try my weed. It's the best weed you'll ever try in your life. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And like, I'm like, nah. At that time, my Spanish wasn't so good. It's gotten better now, but it wasn't so good. So I was trying to tell him like, nah, like I'm good. Next time I'll try it, whatever. Well, he didn't understand me because when we got back to the stable, this man had a freaking log rolled up and he's like, hermano. And like, you know, it's like a cultural thing. Like, bro just showed us the whole mountain. I looked at my girl. She looked at me like, you gonna do it? I was like, should I? She's like, yeah. And I was like, all right. So then I gave it the one, passed it back to him. And that's the last time I smoked weed in almost 2 years. It was some good weed, though. He was right.
That was some outdoor-grown Argentinian gas.
Yeah, it hit different than all that lab-grown runts and Zaza and geek, whatever they got these days. They got so creative with the weed packs, bro. You seen some of these things?
That shit's gotten out of control, bro. I think that's part of the reason why so many people are quitting now, because it's so strong that it's making people like actually fucking terrified.
It's crazy. You're not even smoking weed anymore. You're smoking some like lab concoction that just is pure THC.
Yeah, bro. That shit is wild.
Especially the carts, bro.
That was what ruined me.
I had a really bad experience with a cart when I was younger, and I gave them up forever. This sounds so stupid, but I was at my mom's house, and I used to rip the carts. Like, I used to carry them with me everywhere and just all the time, whatever. Bro, I had got one, and I think it was like a fake cart because I had bought it from like a local plug, like a friend of mine, when I was visiting the hometown. I swear to God, bro, I was sitting on the couch, one blinker, two blinker, trying to get right. 2 minutes later, I stood up and I started walking towards my bedroom. Blackout. Bro, like my dad told me that he's like, bro, you were walking and you just fell. And like I literally like went unconscious and hit my head against the freaking ground because I think the weed has some crazy stuff in it.
You ever been to Nitrogen Ice Cream in Miami? No, just wait. This is gonna tie to what you're talking about.
No, the one in the Grove. Yeah,
I ripped the Benjamin once before going there, and I blacked out onto the mirror where they make the ice cream.
Yeah, bro. Watch out for that. Don't smoke the carts.
I know. I hit you with a little random.
If you want to smoke some weed, man, smoke some weed, but do not smoke the carts, man. Stay away from those. Those are really bad.
Yeah, they're horrible. And I mean, I'll tell you one of my worst experiences with it quickly here, and we can kind of get away from the weed. But
yeah.
I live in the 8th floor of a building, and there's like 5 apartments on that floor. All the way on the other side of the hallway, there's this Turkish kid who's a good friend of mine who used to work at a smoke shop. Uh-huh. And he was like, fuck it. I don't want you to pay me normal wage. Just give me like 8 to 10 carts, and I'll just sell them. And I was like, yo, I'll take one of those every single week when they pay you your weekly salary. And one cart after the next cart, after multiple weeks of buying them, one day I'm at his apartment. We're watching when LeBron was on the Cavs. Mm-hmm. And we were like 4th quarter, 6 minutes left. Any time LeBron scores, we're ripping the Benjamin.
Oh, no.
And it just happened to be one of those games where LeBron scored like 30 fucking points in the last fucking 5 minutes of the game. And my mom wasn't home at the time. Oh, no. And so I'm just ripping that shit. I think it goes into OT. I'm blasted. My eyes look like strawberries. I fucking go straight home because I'm like, shit, I know my mom's about to pull up. I get back home. I run straight to my brother's room. And I was like, yo, Patty, you got eye drops? You got eye drops? Like, where are the eye drops, bro? I'm tweaking. And he's in the shower. And he's like, yo, they're under my PS4 or whatever. And as soon as I'm reaching over for those eye drops, I just start hearing my mom walking into the crib, bro.
Oh,
no. She walks into my brother's room, and I'm like about to walk out of it to go hide in my room. And I just look at her, and I'm like, and she's like, where were you? And I was like, I was playing Fortnite. Like, what do you mean? And she's like, where were you? And she goes, you're high as fuck. And I was like, oh my God, fuck. I turned pale, bro. And she's like, drug test, 20 days, bro. I fucking started tripping out, laid in my bed. Like, it was horrible. And then she kind of like regretted it afterwards because she made me trip out so hard. She was like, she looked at me straight in the eye. She goes, you're stoned as fuck.
That's literally the nightmare situation.
Yo, it was terrible. It was crazy. And that was that.
Damn.
But
well, you still live to tell the story. The chocolate didn't do you in, you know.
The chocolate did me many times with that thing.
Damn, bro. Yeah. I'm glad I quit smoking. I'll say that.
Yeah, and yeah, it was fucking no more fucking weed. Just a bit of TSLs and some dance parties.
A little TSL get you right.
100%. This one was good, bro. But a couple rapid fire questions here to finish it off because it's been a great combo. What's the dumbest purchase you've made since making all this money?
I spent $50,000 on some UFC tickets.
What UFC fight?
In Saudi Arabia.
No way.
Ringside.
You got to tell us a little bit about this. Why was it? Was it a horrible fight? What fight was it?
It was, damn, I can't even tell you who it was. It was like one of the Russian dudes versus one of the, listen, I didn't really want to go to the fight that much, but my whole team that I was with, they were begging to go to the fight. And as a gang, we decided to go. And I paid for ringside tickets for 3 of us. And it came out just shy of $50,000.
Damn.
It was Islam in Saudi Arabia.
And it was he just grappling the whole time? It wasn't that entertaining?
It was mid, bro. That's why I say it was the dumbest. Like, if I got to see ringside Adesanya versus, what's the Alex Pereira guy? All right, I would have paid that. But, yeah, $50,000 on UFC was stupid, bro. I'll never do that again. I wish I was friends with Dana White. Everybody gets them for free.
Yeah. He's plugging everybody up. We got to become friends with him. What about the best purchase you've made? Best expensive purchase?
Buying my mom a house by far was the best thing I ever bought. Like, we used to live in the hood, and the neighborhood that we grew up in, it was okay, but, we got drug dealers there, and we even got drug addicts living right behind us. It's a crazy neighborhood. To have the peace of mind and sleep at night knowing that my mom and the rest of my family is safe where they're living is one of the most important things for me. And it's dope because it's a big house. So before we could never have events and host people, but like we just had the Super Bowl. We had like 60 people at the house for the Super Bowl. Like we never did that, bro. Like when I was a kid, I wouldn't even invite my friends to my house like that. So, and it's appreciating in value. So you take all that in together, that's the best thing I ever bought.
That's a massive fucking W, bro. Congrats on that. That's
thanks.
Sick. That's so fucking sick.
And crypto. Yeah. Buying crypto at the beginning of last year was a life-changing decision.
Really?
I had been buying crypto, but I really sprayed the clip in December of 23. And
this was before you exited?
Yeah.
You sprayed the clip?
Sprayed it.
The mini Uzi.
Full
mag.
Last year, I made a couple of my mom's houses in crypto.
Damn. Bitcoin?
Bitcoin.
Sol?
Meme coin. I just ride the narrative of what's hot at the moment. So back then it was Bitcoin and AI coins. I did very well with AI coins. And then with the meme coin cycle, I also was able to have some successful trades. I'm not much of a trader, though. I'm more like find stuff early, spray the clip, cross your fingers, and wait a couple months. Yeah.
Making me think of, to interrupt the rapid fire here, I saw you tweeted about GPU a while back. One of these projects, AI projects you were in, and I was late to that party. But I ended up making hella paper. And I didn't sell yet.
You didn't sell it yet?
I haven't sold, bro. I'm in the trenches. My bags went up so high, bro.
You got to take profits, brother.
That's the number one thing.
You got to. You got to.
What are your current thoughts on crypto right now?
Strange. I believe in crypto, and I have a lot of Bitcoin, but the market's so weird right now. You know, you got like George Floyd coin going crazy and stuff like that. So like, it's a weird market, bro. I'm a bit more careful with it now. Like, I just buy Bitcoin, keep stacking Bitcoin, stacking Bitcoin, stacking Bitcoin. I don't mess with the meme coin trenches, bro.
I think a question that a lot of people have been wondering is, have you been in the war room drinking Johnny Walker?
I was with Luke last night.
He smokes weed.
He does smoke weed.
And he crushes it.
He crushes it, and he's super smart. He's like the one friend that I have that smokes weed every day that is actually on their shit.
Wait, tell us about this meme since you're actually friends with Luke. Is he even aware of it?
Yeah, of course he's aware of it. It's like the biggest meme in the world.
I know, but I mean, he's not online as much, or it is the biggest meme though.
Yesterday, he told me some shit that was so funny, and I told him he should have tweeted it. He's like, well, everybody's laughing at me, but I'm Johnny walking my way to the bank. And I was like, bro, you gotta tweet that shit. Nah, Luke's good though. He doesn't. When you reach a certain level, it's okay like for people to laugh at you. Like that means you're doing something right.
100%.
So it doesn't really bother him.
Yeah, I mean, that shit was hilarious. So
it was funny. It was funny.
And it's crazy how the meme came to be so much later on.
Yeah, years later.
That clip was a minute ago.
Yeah. But no, I haven't been in the war room. If to answer your question.
Do you want to be in the war room?
I'm good on that. Yeah.
Fair. And if you had to move to one place outside of your hometown here in Coral Gables, well, I don't want to give away where you live. Miami, where would you go?
Another country?
Yeah.
Argentina.
Argentina.
For sure. I love Argentina.
You got a place there now, right?
Yeah. But I really want to build a ranch in Patagonia. That's like one of my end game dreams. So one day we'll do that. We'll have a proper send over there on the ranch, get some 4-wheelers and shit, we'll go hang out.
Bro, let me know.
That's my goal in the next couple of years is to get that ranch and really build that up. Just in case.
Just like get a ton of acres.
Yeah, acres, self-sustaining. I'm really into the idea of self-sustaining land.
I think that's something that when people get stupid rich,
this type of shit that you come up with when you start hanging around all these rich folk, you know, self-sustaining land and water sources, and you start to realize that those are actually the most valuable things. Because like when shit hits the fan, like that's what's valuable. When you can't go to the grocery store anymore because something crazy happened, having some land is important.
Have you seen Ralph Lauren's ranch in fucking
Nah,
Colorado?
I gotta tap in. It's probably crazy.
You get some inspiration from that.
Yeah, I need to get some inspo from that. But yeah, probably Argentina. Yeah,
that's sick as fuck. And if you want to leave the audience with one good lesson you've learned throughout your journey, the most valuable lesson, what would that be? That's allowed you to become so successful.
Whatever you think you want to accomplish in life is gonna take twice as long as you expected, and in that process, you gotta be patient. I think my whole life I was always impatient and always anxious and stressed about where things were going in my life. But now that I can see a little bit of the other side of it, I realized that it was on God's timing. All the struggles and everything in the middle was supposed to be that way. So just give yourself some more time, especially to the young bulls watching this video. Like, you have time to figure this thing out. Don't let the social media world pressure you to think that you got to figure it out today. And it's going to work out for you, but it's going to take a lot longer than you expect. So that would be my message to the people.
That's a great message. Stay patient, let it burn slowly.
Yeah.
And get fucking after it.
Exactly.
Don't get too consumed in the moment. I even got to work on that shit, I would say. So
yeah, just have some patience, man, because if you're young, you got some time to figure it out. Not having to be a millionaire at 21. Like, that's a new thing.
Yeah.
That wasn't happening 20 years ago.
Yeah. Everybody says like the new 20s. The 20s nowadays is like your 30s or 40s. It's fucking crazy. Or something like that.
Damn, well, I don't know what 27 is then. I'm worried.
You're locked in, brother. No. But yo, thank you so much for coming on. It was a great time. We finally made it happen.
Yes, sir.
But maybe we'll do some content some other time and maybe they'll see us at the ranch one day whenever that goes down.
Little Music Week vlog.
Yeah, that'd be fucking fun. You gonna be here?
I'll be here.
Oh, so we'll definitely be running into each other.
Say no more.
That'd be awesome. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you, guys. Peace.